Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and welcome to Dreamy Dreamland with your Sunsail Bob. I'm on the bridge of the good ship Lollipop. We're hurtling through weird space. And there's only one thing that matters: love's co-creation. All else is illusion. What did you do? Have you guys ever heard of the book of Enoch? That was one of the books that was left out of the 66 of the Bible. And what's interesting, the Bible, that word is Sumerian, and you know what it's translated to? Through Greek and then Hebrew? Book. Not the book, book. Let's see what that one comment is.
He's pretty like really thoughtful. Like thoughtful in a way like he likes you first. He puts you first. Exactly. And I haven't been through that, so I mess up sometimes because I don't know. It's just like you haven't been there. You haven't been there. I'm like in the goal. I'm a goalie. I'm gonna like. So he's pretty fucking awesome, and always like. Thing is, with him that annoys me is the jealous part. He's pretty jealous. I don't even know why. No, I'll tell you. I'm an Italian man. My dad's Sicilian. And Roman is Sicilian. And my mom is Nazi German and I'm Irish. And my dad's a triple bird. My mom's a triple type. It was like, wow. So Italian and Italian men, they are children. They are children. And they can whine and cry and they are yes, God, I'm bipolar. What the fuck is going on with you? Why are you up and down? Jealous. Anyways, I had more to do. You're not one. You have somewhere to stay? Yeah, I'm here in the DP, living in the woods. Can you stay out of the rain when it rains? Oh yeah, I live a place we got it covered. But did you, when it rained, did you stay out of the rain? Yeah, I stayed out of the rain.
So here's our boy John.
I did rain, yep. Because I don't know if I'm going to stay in this house or what, or where I'm supposed to go. I really don't even know what I'm supposed to do. Well, I thought you...
Anyway. So I'm always the first through the door, right? Now I don't run. You know, I got 3 guardrails, right? 1, doctor, do no harm. 2, don't get involved unless you go in to save the innocent and you have a workable exit strategy. 3, do not get involved unless you're there to learn something that will make it better, right? Never go in there for your ego. Never go in to be the hero. Never go in to satisfy some emotional dynamic. Because as the book says, that is a folly. The only thing that is real is love's co-creation. That's it. I am a slave to God's love, period. When you're a slave, you have only one master, right? That's all I have, one master, right? Everything I do I do for love's co-creation. I do in every day, every way to take the peace of the love. That is Jesus' unconditional forgiveness and make it stronger. I have no idea what the heck I'm doing. I never have. I'm a lucky bastard. At birth, I was dead. And someone interceded, Dr. Black. Basically, legged the stupid doctor who was about to pull my head off because the umbilical was wrapped around my neck. She put me back in my mom's room, unfurled, with her hands. She had little hands. She's a little person. She was on a box to get into my mom's hoo-hoo, right? Then she put her on nitrous oxide, which basically saved my life because that level of oxygen went into me. Now it made my mom giggle and kind of relax and be distracted enough to allow me to stay in her uterus for an hour or two so I could much better. I mean, they didn't even have incubators back in those days. So when I was taken out, I wasn't a blue baby anymore. Right? And that was my guardian angel, Dr. Black, for the first 10 years of my life, right? Until I died in Florida and she wasn't there. And that was the first time I had a life, oh, that's what I've done for the last 10 years. And everybody was around with party hats and like patting me on the back. And I was a little kid, and all my mentors were there who I haven't met yet. And said, "You're doing a great job, kid. You got to go back." So I did, And my Aunt Gracie and my mom were there to take me out to that hospital and nurse me back. They sent the rest of the cockroaches back home. My dad and my feral Freudenscheider brothers and sisters, and I had a great time. I spent a month of February with my Aunt Gracie, who was like my Auntie Mame, and my mom. And we lived, it was Pompano Beach, and the house that we were in was the company house, and the company belonged to this kind of club that was right on the beach, right near the wooden bridge that was A1A, and the black lighthouse, and this, it was a marina, big pool, tennis courts, but mostly it had a clubhouse with a really big bar and a card room and a really nice dining room. And we spent those 2-3 weeks there. And my mom and Aunt Gracie took everyone there in bridge. I just ate them alive. My mom, I think, made 10 grand. Captain, end of the cul-de-sac, the Branch Davidian military base up the Forest Service Road. His wife and him and his father and mother, kids are all about to kill each other because they've never been in a place out in the country that's totally beautiful, totally God's unconditional love. And they call themselves Christians, but all they do is steal, lie, cheat. And that's called sin. But sin is just a generic copy of what's going on. What's going on is fornication. Fornication isn't this. That's not fornication. Fornication is uncoupling from God's love, right? When your ego, I got this, I know what I'm doing, don't tell me what to do, blah, blah, blah. And that's all those folks do. And they are. So they were about to kill each other. And she went up to the glamping, the tweaker clamping zone. And, Colonel Sanders' mother, she's like undescribable, the unmentionable, right? I met her once. I just looked at her and gave her kind of curse reading because I was, he reads poems, let him read it. And I did. And she like looked at me and said, I'm not having anything to do with this guy. He can read me like a book. Right? And so I basically said to her, so you're pretty smart, and your greatest skill is to use others to foment and push forth your hidden agenda. That's all I said to her. And she was like, okay. And I said it just to her. I didn't do it amongst everybody. And she's never come to see me or talk to me or stop when she drives by or anything about me. And so she uses everyone to get what she wants. And that, you look at the book, what the Bible is. It's a tool. It's a multi-dimensional tool. And it enables you to sense, feel all those experiences, all those stories. So you don't read the book as a law book to litigate the Bible, to litigate a relationship with God. No, you're not there to be God's buddy. No. Look at, David, right? The great-great-grandson or grandfather of Jesus, And, he becomes a great hero after just being the low-life, guy out there tending sheep. And Saul, the king, first king of Israel that was put there by God. And Saul goes off the reservation and it's all me. So he starts whacking everybody. That's why they have all those wars. That's why the temple in Jerusalem is, been taken down so many times because of that attitude. That's why the Hebrews were totally trashed for the last 2,000 years because of that attitude, and they're being set up. They don't even know the chosen people are being set up, and it's in the Bible, So you read the Bible not to be a lawyer, not to be a litigant, and that's liturgic, right? These are all synonyms. They all have the roots of the same word, right? You can't litigate with God. You don't serve God. You don't have a little tray and say, "Here, God, here's a little tidbit." No, you are a slave of God. That's what I am, a slave of God. Now I'm a moron. I make mistakes. I'm stupid. That God's unconditional love is beyond bounds. He just kind of looks at me and shakes his head. That's my boy. That's my boy. I'm just a lucky, stupid bastard, And I'm here to, I don't say, "Oh, please fix this." I go, "So what do you want me to do?" And so I was out in the deep green and it was heaven. I mean, it was as close on earth as you could get to the Garden of Eden, right? I was sitting there. I was good buds with the bears, with Mama Bear, Papa Bear, and the babies. And then there was one over there where they would roll around and chew on and crap on and roll around and some more. And that was no eternity. They'd leave that. They wouldn't rip that apart. And all the other animals, even the after a while, I didn't try to kill them. I would just talk to them and say, "Hey, stop." And whatever dogs rambled in, sat down and fell asleep next to me, and I would just sit on my front lawn and watch it grow. The bunnies, I didn't even need a lawnmower. The bunnies would come and chew the lawn. They didn't eat my garden, and they didn't eat the burdock, and they didn't eat the dandelions, the things I eat. And since the cockroaches have moved in and destroyed, I mean, there's two, corporate mob entities that have bought up everything that they could on the lake, right? And they are destroying everything to put in about 1,000 lots, right? Now there's only one county road in the corner that they bought of the 3 counties, and the rest are all little farm roads. And they've already destroyed us because they went up and wiped off the top of the mountains to put lots up there without any rhyme or reason or consideration of where that water is going to go, because we live in a rainforest. And it has wiped out the things down below. Now I've drained out my nice little holler, so it's a lot of water has been going through my holler, but it hasn't hurt it. Now, the cockroaches that are coming on the Forest Service. Why is this road so lumpy? Well, first of all, they shoot up a 40-degree grade with pickup trucks that have nothing in the back, so the wheels spin and dig up the road. You know, and I used to go up there and just kind of rake the road, and for a year it stayed in pretty good shape, but I manipulated the road so all the water would go in the right places to fill up the bad spots they destroyed when they first got there. And now that the road has fixed itself and is set in a certain level of homeostasis, why should I bother with it, right? It's fine, right? I go up the road at 5 miles an hour, doesn't hurt my vehicle. They've already destroyed 6 of their cars. Right? Not getting an accident, but going up so fast, it was so bumpy that it snapped the drive shaft or broke, the thing that the pistons are connected to. I mean, just unbelievable, stupid stuff. I mean, stupid stuff. I don't have to do it because so that they brought a guy in with a box scraper, and he was drunk, and so he tried to box scrape a road that had nothing on it to scrape. So it's just big rocks, and I kind of use those big rocks to be drained. So he would go like, let's try to scrape the thing, and comes up to a big rock that weighs like 20 tons and goes down to the ground about 60 feet, and it's just that one edge. And the rock doesn't break off, but it ripped his box scraper off the back of his tractor and snapped the drive shaft to his tractor. His nice, crappy $20,000 what he paid for his big tractor with a box scraper broke it because he was drunk. I could do it. I know what I'm doing. That's the relationship humanity has with God. I know what I'm doing. No, we have no idea what we're doing. So, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. What time is it? 11:11. I love it when it does that. So, ay. Oh, coffee, one of the best laxatives there is, right? So I had my eyes operated on Tuesday, and now I'm starting to see. It's always nice to be able to see. But it still has issues, so they're going to laser me, right? And I can only do that so much. And so I do God's unconditional love. God wants me blind, I'll be blind. It's just like when I got murdered by the nun, right? And she broke this orbit of this eye and destroyed this eye and destroyed this ear so I couldn't hear and destroyed my larynx so I couldn't speak. Then Cardinal Cushing sent me off to the sanctuary, and that was it. So are you new here, young lady? How many days you worked here?
I've been working here for about like 3 months.
Let's see your palm. The hand you write with. I like how your fingernails match your T-shirt.
Oh, thank you.
So put your hand you write with. See, so you're kind of close to the vest. You never spill the beans. You kind of are aware of the worst side of the human race.
Yeah.
And you kind of stay away from it. You don't get involved, right?
I'd say so.
Yep. Let's see. A lot of vivid dreams. Let's see. Turn your hand around. I've already read their palms. You're a lot smarter than anybody gives you credit for.
Oh.
And your best talent is you're very empathetic. You're not sympathetic. Sympathetic is really, oh, I feel bad for you. Now get out of my way. That's sympathy.
Me.
No. Empathy is, I've been there, buddy.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah.
So,
I'd
what,
say it's pretty accurate.
yes. So what astrological sign are you?
A Virgo.
Virgo.
Yeah.
Yeah. So see, Virgos are right 80% of the time, right?
I know. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm like.
The rest of the human race, they're lucky if they're right 2% of the time, right?
Yeah.
But see, you're in a wild Virgo because most Virgos have to prove it.
Yeah.
You don't really have to prove it.
Yeah. Eventually, I don't know.
You're getting there. You're getting there. Right,
Yeah.
right, right. Because I saw you smiling. Most Virgos wouldn't smile.
Really?
Yeah. Virgos are kind of grumpy
Yeah.
because they get,
Yeah. I try to smile all the time. I'm a September Virgo, so yeah. I don't know if it makes a difference.
Yes. If you're like, my dad was a triple Virgo.
What's that?
His rising, his sun, and his moon all in frigging Virgo.
Oh, I don't know what.
So just think of your most self, right?
Yeah.
And put it to the third and the 10th power 3 times.
Yeah.
That was my dad. He was a bird colonel in the Air Force.
Okay.
Yes. My brothers and sisters, I was the youngest. I just watched them and I'm not going to do that. Oh, I'm the colonel. You do what I say. My dad would say, go do this. I say, yes, sir, right away. And then go do whatever the heck I wanted to, right?
Yeah.
And my mom was a Capricorn. You know any Capricorns? January. End of January. Middle to end of January.
My mom is January 15th.
She's on the nicer side of Capricorn.
Oh yeah, she's very nice.
But she wants to control, right?
No, she's not very controlling.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, she's not too much Capricorn.
Yeah.
So yeah.
My dad's February 1st.
Oh, so he's an Aquarian.
Oh, okay.
So he's kind of almost goofy.
Yeah, he's a little goofy, but I'd say I would swap that. He would want to be.
Well, they are controlling
Yeah.
because see, he's
Not in a bad way.
well, he's very close to Capricorn.
Yeah.
Aquarians are so ahead of their time.
Yeah.
That's why they're goofy. They're so ahead of their time,
Yeah.
right? But everyone loves Aquarians.
Yeah.
They're sweet. They're nice. They're like teddy bears.
Yeah.
But once you get to know them, they are annoying because they're nice to everybody.
Yeah.
And so, but I'm your daughter. You're supposed to be better, more nice to me.
Yeah.
Your mom goes, and I'm your wife. You're supposed to be, right?
Yeah.
So that's. You got brothers and sisters?
I have a little brother. Yeah.
How old is he?
He's 15.
And what?
March 27th is.
March. So he's kind of near.
I know his birthstone's
So is he a?
aquamarine.
Yeah. So he's either a.
I can actually. I
Yeah.
can
Look that up. You got the magic box.
Well, it says if Snapchat,
Mhm.
it says all that stuff on there. So if I just go to his thing.
I don't do any of that.
Oh yeah.
The only thing I have a YouTube channel.
Oh okay.
Right. So what's it say about
All right. Let's see. Oh my goodness.
you?
Where is it? Oh, an Aries.
Yes, I was going to say it, if anything. So he's a little stubborn,
Yes.
And he
very
wants-
stubborn.
So you got your magic box. Go look up.
What is it?
Dreamy Dreamland.
Okay.
You see me there?
Is it that one?
Let's see. No.
On
It's-
YouTube?
Yeah, on YouTube. It's got my face.
Oh, that one.
I can't see it. Dreamy Dreamland. Yeah, that's me, I think. Let's see. Dreamy. Let's see. No. Dreamy Dreamland. No. Gotta go. The full name is Dreamy Dreamland with Sensei Owl Bob.
Okay. What do you do on your YouTube channel?
Just what I'm doing right now.
Oh, okay. Do you like have those cards?
No, I tell stories.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see you.
So subscribe,
Okay. I'll put the notifications on.
right?
Ooh, got a lot of videos.
Yeah, like what, 12,000?
But yeah, 1,800.
Yeah, 1,800,
Yeah.
yes.
Almost 2,000.
Yep. I probably have 2,500. YouTube does their
Oh,
very
yeah.
best to keep me down on the farm. They get rid of me,
Yeah.
but they I used to have like a telethon to try to get above 600 so I could be monetized.
Yeah.
And I would get up to 599,
Huh.
and then it would snap into like 620, and then would fall back to 400.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, but they don't get rid of me.
Yeah.
Right.
That's good.
Right, they don't get rid of me.
Yeah.
So this is what I do right now. We're actually live our conversation is being. I never show the person.
Yeah.
I just talk to them, right? And I tell stories.
Yeah.
So Virgo, so. I'll give you a little hint on Virgo. You need to. Your two little prayers are conscious intent. I am conscious awareness. I am, which you are already. But when you're a conscious intent of it and conscious aware of it, you can see the moron 3 blocks away and just get out of the way.
Yeah.
And you already do that. But if you do it consciously, it'll be better because you'll be more aware. You'll be able to learn from stuff,
Yeah.
and you're good at that already. But if you sharpen it up a little,
Yeah.
so what do you want to do?
I don't really know. I'm going to school at UT.
Oh.
So I'll
What
be
are
a
you doing?
sophomore. My major is finance. It's a business major. I don't know.
See, college degrees almost don't matter.
Yeah, that's right. I want to go just for the experience and you do a lot of growing up in college and stuff.
I know, but don't let anybody tell you what it is.
Yeah.
You got to keep your own self
I think
straight.
at least going will help me figure out exactly what I want to do.
Well, it'll give you perspective.
Yeah.
And it'll broaden your little things. So,
Yeah.
how many years you got left?
3.
Great. Okay.
Yeah, I just finished my first year.
Okay, so this is what you need to do.
Yeah.
Do you have any mentors in that school?
There's a lot of opportunities. There's
Find your best
academic
advisor,
yeah.
right? And next semester, go to them or go to them right now and say, listen, I want to spend a year someplace.
Yeah. They have a lot of
foreign service,
yeah, like internships
Right.
and all that stuff.
Do all of that because I used to teach in universities, right? And these kids who came from wealthy families, went to really good schools, never did any of that.
Yeah.
They just went through school,
I used
graduated.
to travel a lot. I've been a little around the world, but
a little around the world. That's
yeah,
good.
a little bit.
How old are you? 18, 19?
18, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's pretty good. Most people, you grew
Yeah.
up here?
No, I actually only lived here for 2 years. So I grew up in New Jersey and Vermont.
Oh, where?
Up north. Northern New Jersey.
Yeah, I grew up in New York City. What part of New Jersey?
Oh, okay, Augusta.
Oh, yeah.
It's about it's a really small.
Yeah, I
Like
know it.
Frankfurt, Granchville.
I used to run a kids camp in Bear Mountain,
Oh,
which is just down the road from that.
yeah. When I was a baby, I used to live in Pennsylvania, like the first 8 years of my life.
Uh-huh.
Then moved to New Jersey, the second 8 years.
And Vermont. Where were you in Vermont?
Kind of all over because I used to be a skier. So I lived in like Ludlow,
Uh-huh.
Killington,
Yeah.
Berg, Vermont.
So I lived in Putney.
Okay,
You know the Putney co-op?
I think.
Right.
Yeah.
It's right in the middle of town. It's up on top of, it's the second floor. You go out these steps on the outside.
Yeah.
So I was there in the 60s, and I helped start an ashram there,
Oh, okay.
a healing school, alternative medicine.
Yeah. That's cool.
So Vermont's a really interesting.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Vermont and Texas are the only 2 states in the union that haven't really. They can step out of the union anytime they want,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
where
I've
other
been to,
states can, but it's more of a trouble.
Yeah, I've been to France, Switzerland,
Hmm.
Canada, and Chile. Those
So
are the,
did you compete?
Yeah, I used to race competitively, but I tore my ACL twice.
Yeah.
So
I had a girlfriend when I was your age who was an Olympian skier,
yeah.
and she was downhill.
Okay.
She's crazy.
What was her name?
Teresa Ryerson.
Okay.
I mean, this is 1967.
Yeah. Was she on the U.S. ski
Olympics.
team? Oh, okay.
She was in the Olympics
Yeah.
at your age.
Yeah.
And she was, like I said, nuts, right?
Yeah.
And she was flying down this hill in Colorado,
Oh no.
and they didn't.
What
Ma-
mountain?
Oh, I forget which one, but downhill,
I've been
like,
to Colorado.
right.
Yeah. It's the fastest discipline.
And it was one of those days where it heated up.
Yeah.
So instead of saying
So
no,
she hit the soft.
she hit the dirt.
Oh.
So she went and flew into the concrete abutment of the cable car.
Of the ski lift? There was no padding. They usually, they put padding there now.
Now, after her,
Meh.
that was it for her. She was
She died.
no,
Oh,
she could have,
yeah.
but no.
Oh my gosh. What's she doing right now?
Oh, she committed suicide.
Oh.
Yes. I mean, when you're so focused on that, and then it's taken away from you.
Oh yeah. It was my whole life. And
Right.
I tore my ACL twice.
And you're lucky that you just caught because it. I mean, she was messed up, and the only reason she didn't whack herself earlier is that we were together for a number of years, and she moved to New York City. She kind of changed her whole life.
Yeah.
Became an artist like
I've been
me.
having trouble finding another passion and all that.
Yeah, when you're that passionate about something, right? And people who hook up with me, I am passionate about everything.
Yeah.
So I'm really good at everything, but I don't stick with any one thing. And it really freaks people out because they get at the top of it and I get bored.
Yeah.
And I say, well, on to the next.
Yeah. Well, hopefully, I might. I don't know. I want to be my own boss someday. Own my own business.
You can be your own boss at anything.
Yeah.
Meaning I spent 30 years. You want to be your own boss? You can work for somebody else.
Yeah.
But you always have to work where they need you more than you need them.
Yeah.
So get some skill sets. And business isn't a skill set.
Yeah. I think you can have some skills for it. You got to
no, it's experience rather than skill set.
Yeah.
Skill set is like doctor, lawyer, electrician, plumber, skill set.
Yeah. Sorry.
Take her away. Because I could talk to you forever. Anyway, so that's what I do. Democracy now. Boom, 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 boom. Let's see. Ooh. What did I do with that other one? There it is. So I think you get the drift, don't you? I mean, after 1,700 shows, go back and look at some of those. Do. Look at that. Can I have a little more coffee here? A little more coffee? Got a pot? That baby off?
You want this one?
Yeah. This is just my thermos.
Yeah.
Thank you. Let's see. There we go. Hey, handsome. I'm at Jen's in Mountain City. Okay, so you'll be there. You'll be here, what, half an hour, 40 minutes? Yeah. So it's more comfy here than in the parking lot of Food Lion. Okay, I'll see you in about 40 minutes. Yep. So that's my brother Max, and he's quite interesting in that we have been going through the door together a number of times. Everyone else is like hiding and scared, and we're going through the door. Gentlemen. Arr. So. No, I'm not going to have this one. No comments from the peanut gallery. No. Okay. Well, let's see what the Oracle has to say. Oh, the Hermitage. This is a good one.
Story is extraordinary, especially if it's true. And it all started in the desert, just north of Las Vegas.
A local scientist who worked at Groom Lake said to be where top secret weapon systems have been tested over the years. He has asked that his identity be shielded. Exactly what's going on up there? What's going on up there could be the most important event in history. Physical contact and proof from another system, another planet, another intelligence. What would happen to you if the government learned that you were giving us this information?
They just want to stay alive. Maybe this has been kept from us for a good reason.
Duality theory suggests that particles exist simultaneously as both waves and particles, emphasizing the vibrational nature of matter. According to the New Thought movement, the very well-known law of attraction shares similarities with the principle of vibration, emphasizing the power of thoughts and emotions in shaping our reality. How does vibration affect reality? Cymatics is the study of visible sound and vibration, a field that explores the visual patterns and shapes generated when a medium, such as a liquid, solid, or gas, is exposed to specific frequencies. The concept of cymatics was first introduced by Dr. Hans Jenny, a Swiss scientist and artist, in the 1960s.
He was a guy that I studied with when he would come to New York. There was an entity called the U.S. Psychotronic Society that we made apparatus that experimented with that hermetic vibration, right? And it was funded and bankrolled, U.S. Psychotronic Society was kind of a cutout for the ISIS Foundation, right? And those guys are older than the Theosophical Society, right? Or even Thole Society, or a number of those societies. And they were all, again, trying to, like Rudolf Steiner. He was part of that scene. And I came from all of that. But I never I always had mentors who like on the boards of these things. And so I never had to be, I was always the kid, but I never had to be the newbie, right? And I could do stuff and because again, I served love's co-creation. And for the first 32 years of my life, pretty much didn't have, I knew something, I just rode the wave. I didn't really have, see how there's a shadow there. See, that's incandescent light. And when there's no shadow, right, that's photonic light. And photonic light is of the photon. It is that which is the physical representation in our physical domain. You can feel. And that's what the Bible is. The Bible is the lens in which to focus that photonic light into you. So when you read the Bible, you get that vibration. Right? That's what it's about. It's not to litigate, not to memorize, John 1 John 35, blah, blah, blah. No, you don't prove anything by knowing a quote. The thing is to read it every day and pick up that vibration. And then you serve love's co-creation, right? So that's the story. So, anyway, breathe. I'm gonna breathe. And then taking smaller breaths. And that's when your diaphragm lifts in the top part of your lungs. Get exposed to that photonic light. Breathe it in. And then you breathe out, all the way out. When you do that, that's how you bring love's co-creation into your physical body. And that's when you can go into state. And then that's where you Your soul is that fiber optic line coming from your lowest chakra all the way up through your higher chakras, up top of your head, top 6 chakras, up to your Akashic records, through what is known as your imaginary mirror. And what is that? It's right behind your eyelids. And so you have 3 brains. This is just the cottage cheese between your ears. And all of your lower senses, your sight, your smell, your taste, your hearing, are right there for the cottage cheese. So that is like the back part of your cerebral cortex back here is the lowest part of your soul self, and that is called your reptile mind. And that's where you have fight and flight. Right? And so that's kind of what it's about. You try to elevate yourself through love's co-creation above that fight or flight. So you can see what's going on. Right? So what's going on? Anybody got anything to say? Let's try somebody else. It's close to lunchtime. Yeah, let's see if GB answers. He's one of the high hippie holies of the Rainbow Gathering. The gathering is just, I heard from people from the gathering, it's in New Hampshire, and they're in seed camp now, so there are about 100 people up there. Yep. No. Let's call Mr. Chicago.
Please leave your message for...
Anyway, he's probably out in the woods. Who else? Here's another Joni Freedom, another high hippie holy. Let's see it for a little Pat.
Hello?
Hey there. In one of my diner hangouts, waiting for a friend, and I'm on the show. So you're live.
Hey, everybody.
And so you liked hearing from Lana. I just stumbled across her on my dead phone, so it rang and she answered.
Yeah, when I flipped it on, I hadn't quite listened to the whole thing, but I could tell straight away it was Lana. And I was like, oh, dang, I haven't heard from her in forever.
Yep.
So
yep, she's back in the world. She checks out every now and then. So
that's a good thing to do every now and again.
Yeah. Yep. And how is Miss Fish doing?
All right. I'm glad that it finally started raining. I mean,
right.
Oh.
Well, we're a little up above you, so we're in a rainforest, right? When I got here 20 years ago, it was a real rainforest, right? Rain every day, sunny every day. It's kind of rainforest. And then it got dry for about 6 years. And this spring has probably been our wettest spring, but not quite a rainforest. So all of the cockroaches from California and Texas and Florida, it rains all the time. I said, guys, you haven't seen anything yet.
No. Yeah, no, they need to be down here where it didn't rain for,
Right.
I think it rained quite a bit in April.
Right.
Then it didn't rain hardly any in May. And we had like 2 days in the beginning of June that it rained. And then it started raining, I think, Saturday?
Yeah.
I mean, they're just hit or miss thunderstorms, but last night, I mean, it started raining probably around 4 or 5 o'clock, and just rained all night. It was still raining when I got up this morning, so we had a pretty good soaking rain. I know I cut my yard like, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks ago. I cut it to the dirt because they said it was supposed to rain, and then the rain missed us. And so I had like, hardly any grass, and then it rained, like I said, over the weekend, but Monday I was off, and I thought, well, I should probably get out there and mow it, but then I was like, no, what if it doesn't rain? It needs some, it's still a little short. And then it rained Monday night, and then Tuesday morning, I promise you, it grew 3 inches.
Yeah, well, that's good for it.
Yeah, so.
It'll be sunny Saturday. Get out there and mow it Saturday.
Oh, yeah, well, it's supposed to get back up into the 90s. It's like only 70 degrees
I know,
here right now. It's really
60,
chilly.
It's 68 here, yes.
Yeah, it's chilly for June, but
I'm fine with that.
It's supposed to be up into the 90s.
I'm fine with that. But you know what? It's nippy. But I have a thing that measures ultraviolet. The ultraviolet these last few months has been crazy high.
Yeah. Now that has been, because you can be out and
right. It's a cloudy day. You think you're fine, but you're getting microwaved.
Yeah, you're getting burnt plumb up.
Yes, exactly.
Because I'm super white and I get super burnt. There's no tannin in me, so I know.
Well, as soon as you said that, I saw you as a superhero, as super white.
Well, my friend, he's a black guy, and he always makes fun of me about my weight. Like when I finally do wear short pants, he's like, "Your white legs, you're so white." And then he saw my daddy one time, and he goes, "Oh, I see." He said, "Your daddy's so white, he's clear."
Right,
he's
exactly. Your daddy's so white, you're translucent.
Yeah. So, I mean, my mama is half Native American. I did not get those. I got her brown eyes. That's it. Everything else, I got the blondish red hair.
Yep.
And
so you're a Colleen.
Pale white skin.
So you got the Scottish Celticness going on in you.
Yeah. Yep. So I was born a redhead. Then my hair turned blonde, and then it turned kind of like a sandy blonde.
Did people call you Red?
Yeah, they did for a long, long time, and now that I've gotten older, my hair has gotten to where it is turning red again.
Oh.
But like when I'm out in the sun,
right.
The red part turns blonde, but then it'll be
whitish.
All that turns red. Right. No, it doesn't turn white. Thank goodness I haven't gone white yet.
Oh, white's not bad.
No, it's not. I mean, my grandmother was white-headed all my life. Right. My daddy's white-headed now, and he's gonna be, I think, 70 this year.
Yeah.
But I mean, he was redheaded, never always redheaded.
So your daddy's like 4 years younger than me.
He was born in 53, so I think he's gonna be 70 this year.
Yep, he's gonna be 70. What month is he born?
September.
Oh, so your daddy's a Virgo. He's always right.
Yeah.
Yep.
I guess he does think he's always right. Yep. So.
Well, the thing about Virgos, they actually are not always, but 80%. Where the rest of us are maybe right 2%.
Uh-huh.
So when you compare 80% to 2%, that's always. What sign are you?
I'm Pisces.
Oh, Pisces.
Yeah, I'm late February.
Oh,
so,
late February, yes. February
27th.
What? February what?
27th.
So you got a little bit of Aquarian in you.
Yeah, just a little.
A little bit. To make you interesting.
Or on the spectrum.
Yeah.
One of the two.
Yeah. Yeah. I think we're all on the spectrum.
Yeah. Nowadays, I was looking. Somebody was talking about not to give their kids, stuff with food coloring or whatever, and I was like, well, we weren't allowed to have anything red growing up, anyway, like with
Right.
popsicles, because they say it makes kids like super hyper, blah blah blah, gives them ADD, so you should really limit foods. And I was like, well,
The bottom
I
line
have ADD and I didn't have any red foods, so explain that.
you're on the spectrum.
Yeah, I'm on the spectrum.
Bottom line is, all you got to give your kids is love,
Yeah,
and not
love.
not hollow love, not shallow love, but unconditional. And Colonel Sanders, he treats his kids like they're jewelry, right? He wants them to be really good athletes and do this and do that to reflect on him that he never did any of that, and he just buys them stuff.
Yeah, you can't buy love.
Can't buy love. No. And my parents were similar, but they also had their good side. And so when they were having their good side, they were being unconditional. My dad was a lot of fun, right? So was my mom. My mom was the life of the party. So when they were doing that, and my brothers and sisters were teenagers when I was a little kid, so they would get embarrassed. Me, I thought it was cool. I thought, yeah, that's kind of fun. So
Yeah.
that's how I measured their love, right? By having a good time with them. And otherwise, when they were having a bad time, I just wasn't there. I knew to stay down in the basement playing with my laboratory,
Yeah. We didn't. My parents divorced when I was young.
Mm-hmm.
But I saw my father like 2 days a week after school. He'd come and pick us up, and we'd go out to eat and stuff like that every Tuesday and Thursday. But sometimes we would spend the weekends with him, but most of the time we just spent it with my grandmother and my great-grandmother. And then when I was 12, I moved in full-time with my grandmother. So I had a with her mama. She's my mama too, but
you
that's a whole other story.
Right.
And
anyway,
she I did more grown-up stuff.
Right.
So we were around a lot more old people. So I grew up kind of quickly. Yeah. Not on purpose, but we weren't an affectionate, loving family. I mean, my grandmother was, she was raised Church of Christ,
right.
and in our town,
mm-hmm.
and anyway, she still followed, all the teachings and that kind of stuff. So there's a lot of that in me, and then she always had this, you can't feel sorry for yourself,
right.
If you feel sorry for yourself, that's your fault. You need to pick yourself up and move on.
And not only that, not just pick yourself up, but we're here to do what God wants us to do, right?
Right.
So it's not so much, oh God, heal this, take care of that, fix this. No, you say, God, what's like you look. The best example of that is David, and King Saul. David slays, the big monster, and then he's the big hero, and he's Saul treats him like his best son, and then he gets a little jealous of David, right? And Saul has been made the first king of Israel, and so Saul had a relationship with God, so he should have just stuck with that, but he didn't. He got jealous and more jealous and more jealous and more jealous, and at the end of all of that story, and David basically had to hide in caves and be on the down low. And there were many times where David could have whacked Saul, but he didn't, right? Because he kept saying, well, God made him king, so I can't go against God. I'll just have to, be on the down low. But anyway, that's the best story about how to act. David, when he got full of himself, that's when things really went bad for him. Right?
Yeah.
But
yeah, you have to have a measure of humility
and
in your life.
To the level of you are the slave of God.
Yeah.
I know
What?
it's
Say
hard
that
for
again?
it's the slave of God. We basically, when you're a slave, you only have one master. When you're a servant, you serve in a restaurant, you serve a lot of people. No, when you are, doing God, being God's child, you are His slave basically, because God is your only. That's it. He's your master. Period. So it's difficult but easy because you don't have to make up any decision. You don't have to like, oh, I have to do this, I have to do that. You just say, okay, God, what's next? And God will put it on your to-do list.
Yeah.
I know
I guess that's a way to look at it.
Yes, I mean I'm going very biblically. In the material
Yeah.
world, they most people couldn't. Because I tell people this, just especially people. Well, I'm a Christian. I said, oh, you're a slave to God, and they really kind of choke on that one.
But I don't want to be a slave to anything.
But you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know it.
I just do that.
Level of
right.
something.
Well, it's like unconditional. God's love is unconditional because it's God. It's very like we don't have a clue on what it really means or what it really is, right? I mean, how can we judge God? We can't. And He's, or he, it, she, whatever. It's just love, and there is no time where we are incarcerated in time, and so we have a hard time with time.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that.
I mean, these are all theological motifs, not religious, right? So, and most people don't think that way, right?
Right.
So that's why it's almost alien. Well, I think I'm almost alien, so it kind of rings true.
Yeah, I think if you try to do your best, because that's what God wants is you to do your best.
No, you don't try. You do your best. And
that's what I'm saying. If you try to do your best,
you gotta take
and the best is what you can do.
Right,
I mean, that's.
But you don't try.
Mean,
you don't try.
It's not. Well,
you
try
do.
is more like a. Let's say it's an adjective to that verb.
Yeah.
Because you can't always.
No, you can't because
be perfect. That's what when I say try, I say it in, I guess, the country meaning or maybe the holler meaning. You try to do right.
I'm a little more biblical, so
my
attitude is you do your best, but you can't be perfect. God knows that.
Right.
You do your best.
That's what I mean by you try to do your best, because if you're doing your best all the time, we all know that's not, well, you can do your best all the time, but you're not doing your best all the time. You can't.
But you're doing your best.
But it's impossible to be the best person all the time.
No. It's possible to do your best. It's not possible to be perfect. You know what I mean?
It's not possible to what?
Be perfect. You can't. You can't be perfect, but you can.
No, you can't be perfect.
But you can do your best. But that's not perfection. But you can do your best. Whereas you just say, "Oh, I'm going to try." That's like 20 notches below doing your best.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I think we are lost in translation.
Yes.
Because that's pretty much what I mean by by that. I mean, you do your best
But me as
every
a
chance you
theologian,
get.
I pick up on that and I say, okay, let's talk about this. And that is, you do your best, you don't try, but you're not perfect. And so when you look at you're at, again, it's on the spectrum. You're over there on that scholar spectrum. I'm over here on the theologian spectrum. And we're on the same, and you know how a spectrum is kind of curved, right?
Yeah.
So we're on this part of the spectrum and we're looking levelly at each other. We're saying the same thing, but I'm coming from
Differently.
I'm coming from a theologic point of view. You're coming from a holler point of view, and I bring it forth not to say, "Oh, you're wrong," but to say, "See what? Let's talk about this, right?"
Yeah.
So that's what I do. I never say to anybody, "You're wrong." I say, "Let's look at this." And that's kind of the shoe I've been put into. So I'm waiting for my friend. I'm at one of the town's better diners. I just had breakfast. They make a really good egg cheese sausage sandwich. They bake their own bread. Yum, yum, yum.
I had the coffee shop here at the office. They make this thing, they call it the OG, but it's a bagel and egg and cheese.
Mhm.
And you can get sausage or egg, sausage or bacon or ham. And I usually get bacon. I had that earlier this
You
morning.
know, bacon is such a hard thing in that if it's made correctly, it's amazing. Otherwise, it's kind of chewy.
Yeah, I like it crunchy.
Yeah.
The girls know that make it.
They
I'm
make
like, make sure that when you put it on the sandwich,
Right.
it breaks.
Yes, exactly. It's got to be crunchy. Then bacon's one of the better meats, but very few do. You know, they just kind of put it on the grill. It's still, mostly grizzle. This guy gave me a piece of bacon, and it was like it had like maybe I don't know one smidgen of pork, and the rest was grizzle. And he thought, "Boy, you're giving you the best piece." I said, "No, sorry, don't want that." I gave it to his dog. He got upset. That looks like a nice burger. No, I'm not.
It's already lunchtime.
I just had lunch. I'm not going to have. I mean, I just had breakfast. I'm not going to have lunch. Is that a double cheeseburger? Is that yes? Yeah. Yes. So these guys are these are. There's a really fancy restaurant that's very good, but this is for holler kind of diner food. This is the better one, and the people who own it and work at it are good folk. So. And that's the measuring stick of the places I go to. The food has to be, relatively good. Let's see, who is this? Oh, hold on. Hey, are you there? Garrick. Oh, pretty good, buddy. So I'm online and I'm here with the crowd. And so are you on site or are you still in?
No, I'm bedside and then funeral of Ian's wife Orna, and I've been here with their two boys. I've been here for almost a week, and I've been helpful in whatever way
that's what a friend does.
Me can be.
And you've known those guys forever, so
exactly right.
They're your family.
They really are. I'm going to fly back to Santa Fe tomorrow, and then pack up my camping gear, and then head to New Hampshire with Jenny. I should be there the 29th or the 30th.
So what part of New Hampshire did they get?
It's way up in the north. It's in the most obscure part, up in between Berlin and Lancaster, New Hampshire.
Yeah, almost Maine.
Yeah, it's way up there.
Yeah.
And several things. I was going to send this to your email, but my email got a little messed up. So when we get off this phone or something, can you send me your email? Because I'll tell you what, I have a remarkable map of an area in New Hampshire that has drawn on it in
Yeah, me. Yep. Really close to the interstate, but far enough away and had great parking and this, but the real
nerfy politics
Yes,
and
yes,
the nerfy,
the nerfy
people. No big
politics.
deal.
Yeah.
But I know you asked me very much to get that site information to the scouts.
Right, good.
I'm looking through my map box for what I have from New England.
Right.
And lo and behold, here's this folded up topo.
Yep.
I open it up.
Yep.
I say, oh my God, this is the place.
Yep.
Anyway, I got that to the scouts.
Right.
So at least you can know
That they
the
went and looked
research
at it. Yeah.
Right.
And like I said, it was the perfect site 20 years ago. Probably not the perfect site today. And I know exactly because I was a scout. We went all over New Hampshire.
Yeah.
So yeah, I know that place. And I had a really good girlfriend up there in Maine, right on the border. So I know that area pretty good.
Oh,
So,
that's a big influence.
yeah, yeah. So that's a really nice neck of the woods.
I'd love to send you the photo of the map that I sent them, and I just can't find your current email.
Okay, I will send that. But you can send that from your phone right to this. Text it to my phone number here.
Oh, okay.
So you can do that.
I will do it by phone.
Right.
That's my plan.
But I will send you my email so you'll have it.
Yeah, a bunch of when I synced up my emails with my new car, my new old car, I lost like half my emails. It's just a pain. It's just one of those things.
Yep.
I tried to connect the two things, and they connected happily, and they booted half the people I've ever known.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why I keep everything I ever had, and even if it disappears or I never find it again, I still have. Maybe I can do it. But anyway, I've got to an age. I don't know if you've gotten to the age, but I've gotten to the age where I kind of don't worry about anything anymore.
Why worry? Why worry?
Why worry?
Worry won't help.
Worry won't help. Right. And
if you can do something, do it.
Do it.
If you can't,
you
can't.
Right.
But if you worry about it, I promise it won't help you.
No, it'll actually be worse.
You got that right. That's the
worse.
lesson. But I felt really good about finding this map, steering it to the scouts,
right.
getting their response, because I felt like you really here. I know that the lesson is leave no stone unturned.
Right.
Leave no tone unstirred.
Right, exactly.
Unstirred, no tones.
Yep. So have they sent you any images? I have a few people on site. I heard from them yesterday, and they said
I have a couple of images that I pulled off Facebook, but all it is a couple of people in a place full of greenery putting a tarp up.
Yes.
I don't have any real site pictures yet.
So I have some people on site, and they say it's a nice site, and they say logistically it's not bad because they gave me a call from like the Walmarts, so it's not like that far away from supply.
I know that we're encouraging in the town of Berlin. We're encouraging everybody to shop at the 2 family-owned markets,
right,
and to give our rainbow business to the locally owned stores and people of the town, instead of to this Walmart place.
It always works out okay. So my people who are there are more sociology kind of folks, filmmaker kind of folks.
Yeah,
I've known them a long time. So they're not into the rainbow politics or organization or anything.
That's fine.
They really are.
It takes all the aspects.
Right.
Some people are there for the water lines.
Right.
some people are there trying to make a film about something that is a kind of social organization that is not the norm.
So my friend is from Yugoslavia, and so he has a very interesting. I mean, he's a little younger than us. You know, he's probably in his 50s, but he's seen some really horrific things, right? So he has. I don't want to say jaundiced point of view, but you know, he has the kind of that's why he likes me, because I look at things so differently, and so does he. So he makes films that way, and they're mostly he travels the world, man. He just all over the place, but he goes to rainbow gatherings.
Well, one thing he can do, because finding me if there isn't an East Village camp, which I don't think there's going to be this year. If you want specifically to look for me, the people at Info and the Ovens will know where I am. One thing we're trying to do is take this famous East Village sponsored jazz brunch that we've done now since 1990.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. And what we're trying to do is, let me put it bluntly, foist it off on a different kitchen.
Yeah, right.
Because what's happened in the last number of years is different kitchens have said, hey, you guys can use our space. And we go there, and it's a turnkey operation.
Right.
The surfaces are clear, the stoves are ready, the buckets are there, the dishwash pans are ready, and all we have to do is come in and do it, and then leave it as clean as we left it. That's what we've done like the last 5 or 6 years. But this year, what I really want to try to do
is find another crew
that will say, we're going to take on the brunch, and then like the Always Free magazine, they'll take it on for 2-3 years, and then another place will take it. So that what continues to exist isn't the East Village Sunday brunch, but the jazz brunch has its own
flavor.
Sort of its own what?
Flavor.
Yeah, its own flavor, and it goes on independently of the East Village crew or any other.
Right. Exactly. And that would get. I mean, it's one of the things that kind of got boring of the gathering is how people who did the same thing over and over said, it has to be this way. It's like, really?
Yeah. You got to pass it on.
Right.
You got to pass it on so that it can grow.
Right.
But that's where your Yugoslav friend can find me and Zero Boy and Joni and a bunch of other folks. We'll all be at the jazz brunch, even if we're not
doing it.
Bingo.
Right.
I've told everybody I'm willing to make lemonade for it, or I'm willing to make one dish, but I'm not going to work on the apples and the deviled eggs and the cheese spread and the piano. It's too much.
Right.
Let somebody else take it on here. And I think if I play it right, there'll be a bidding war to see who gets it.
Oh, that's good.
That's what we want. We want 2 or 3 kitchens to say, hey, bring it here.
Right.
Here's what we can do. As opposed to, oh my God, who's going to do it this year?
Yep. So how are your kids? Are they going?
All 3 last year, and I'm going to have none of them there this year. That's fine, because I have all 3 with the 2 babies. Both of them last year, both of them less than a year old. Last year I had one that was 11 months, which is how old Eden was when I brought her in on my back the first time, and one of whom was 4 months.
And these are your grandchildren now.
Yes. I told Tamaron, you sure you want to bring a 4-month-old into the gathering? And he said, Dad, how old was I when you brought me into the gathering? And I said, well, the first time you came, you were in utero. And he says, Dad, I know how to do this. I know how to handle a little baby at the gathering. I trust me. And I had all 3 kids and all the grandkids camped together. I'm telling you, it was a bucket list situation.
Yeah, that's it. That's great.
Well, I'm happy to, if I'm talking in on your live feed, your live Zoom. That's great. And I just want to encourage anybody who wants to go. I'll tell you what else I'm going to do. I'm going to send you the directional howdy folks to your phone, and then you can post it or put it up on your Zoom and your feed. I'm going to jump right now, Al. I'm so glad to let you know that we got your actual map.
Yeah,
today
that's
at Scouts.
a pleasant.
Teamwork.
Yes, that's always nice to have, and I'm historically remembered in that fashion. There's all these little crumbs of Al, you know.
That's it. That's it. We leave breadcrumbs behind us. Okay, I love you, brother. I'm going to get off the phone.
Okay, handsome. Catch you later.
Beautiful.
Yep.
Bye for now.
Yep. That's our boy. So that's GB, and sometime when he's more talkative, I'll let him tell stories about us at rainbow gatherings. And that's me. You know, I'm everywhere. Just why I did this YouTube is to be the crumbs on the World Wide Web. So when does lunch crowd show up?
I don't know. They just
Now I'm waiting for my friend. I'm waiting for my friend. And it's more comfy here than in my car.
yeah.
Anyway. 1 hour and 17 minutes and 22 seconds. Let's see. I'll call somebody else. Do, 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 do. This is my lucky guy. The difference between a lucky guy and a lucky bastard. Lucky guy is lucky guy. David was a lucky guy. In the Bible. That's this guy. So sis, what's your name? Juliana. You
Your
Italian?
call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system. 540.
100%? Are you? You look like you got a little Indian in you too. Hello, 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 Mr. Oh, it's the mailman. I'm in my favorite lunch spot, waiting for some friends to show up, and that's it. So, did you get you have the operation on your LCL? So you're pretty much 90% good to go.
I'm 100%. I got a tendon graft, so.
I'm pretty much mush, so I have to wear braces and all that kind of stuff. But they wanted to chop my legs off. I said, no, no, no. So do you have any? You don't like water? Yeah.
Sorry.
Yes, exactly. You gotta like water.
Yeah.
Didn't you say you were a Pisces? Virgo. Oh yes. Your brother's Pisces. Aries. Who's Pisces in your family? Your mom?
I don't know. I don't think anything.
No. Okay. R. Mixed signal. R. And was born to be a mailman. So when you were a youngster, did you dream of being a mailman? I said, when you were a youngster, did you dream to be a mailman?
A little bit. You know what the joke is that my last name is Postal. And that's 100%.
Well, then you have the right job, buddy. Mr. Postal. Just don't go postal.
Yeah, that's right. It ain't that bad in the small office.
No, little towns are nice. Everyone knows everyone. It's kind of slow. You look small, doesn't you? Okay, who else are we gonna call? Ooh. Give a man his privacy. Ba, ba, ba.
Oh, I know. We have like.
Hey, sweetie, just checking in. This is your Al Bob, and all's good here. Hope you're doing well. Oh man, it's my buddy. He just showed up. So talk to you later. Okay, kids. I guess I'm out of here.